And welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is cold showers and other shocks to the system, and how the things we often most resist could be source of great vitality and renewal for us. So, anyway, before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get settled and present. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen just flooding your lungs and flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing every cell and every organ. And as you exhale, exhale any tension, any stress, any negativity, reactivity. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant bright light lighting you up from the inside out, electrifying and energizing every molecule and every electron, lighting your cells up, illuminating you with a light that glows from the inside out. And as you exhale, exhale any remaining stress or tension, negativity, fatigue, toxicity. And now let's just gently press our palms together. Softly, softly, softly rub your fingers against your palms and feel that wonderful sensation, that light tickling like feathers on your fingers. And bring yourselves present right here, right now for a new week. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so great to be here with you as always. And I'm going to talk about, ow, ow, ow. Maggie, I have bare feet right now, and Maggie has a thing about toes. And so she was just biting my toes. So that's a shock to the system. Speaking of which, she has an impeccable sense of timing. Anyway, I want to talk about cold showers, and not just cold showers, but literally cold showers as part of whatever we're wherever the conversation goes this morning, because I am a person who has an aversion to cold. I love the warm weather. I take a sauna pretty much every morning, at least in the colder weather. And typically, if I get too cold, I get really cranky and depressed, and just it's not my favorite temperature, cold. So I've had friends talk about taking cold showers and Imhoff breathing, and which I don't even know how to spell, but and I don't know enough about it yet, but now I'm encouraged to try it. Anyway, just the thought of a cold shower was completely repugnant to me. Like, just I get reactive about it. It's like, no way, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna. And so this morning, I a friend had lent me a sauna, a portable sauna, a couple of years ago. I'm thinking now, which is really amazing, and hasn't yet reclaimed it, and I am loving it. And so in the morning, typically I take a half hour sauna, and it's hot and I sweat like rivers. And then the idea is you're supposed to have a 10-minute cool down before, really maybe even more before you take a shower. But this morning I didn't have time, and so I was really hot, and I thought, well, maybe I'll take a cold shower. And this is another example of moving from inspiration rather than doing this. Like, I didn't force myself. It's just I had a moment of inspiration. Rosalind says, good morning, my good Monday morning. Cold shower, no. Sauna, yes. I'm in that camp with you, Rosalind, but I have to share what happened this morning because it was kind of mind blowing. Good morning, Dennis. Welcome, welcome. Great to have you here. So I've been the cold shower, good for you, not for me, no thank you, no way, no how, right? So anyway, this morning I guess I had an inspiration to try a cold shower to so that I wouldn't be still sweating rivers when I came to see you guys this morning. So I took a cold shower and I'm screaming in the shower going, ah, 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 like it was really cold, and it made me catch my breath, and I was trying to do panting sort of breath through it, like breath of fire through it. And I have to say that my body feels awake in a way, and it's now, let's see, it's a good half hour after the shower. And it was not a long shower, I can promise you that. But I can say that my body feels awake in a way that I can't remember. And it's almost like I feel more alive. I feel more vibrant. My cells feel more alive. And I think I feel more mentally alert as well. Maybe all out of defense, I don't know, but I kind of feel like I'm firing on more systems than usual. And I can feel my skin. I feel my skin in a way that it feels alive. And it's a very, very surprising experience, because it had such an impact, not just on my physiology, um, and it felt so good when it stopped, but but it just, I feel more vibrant and alive, and it made me start thinking about shocks to the system and how incredibly powerful they can be. I have a friend who has a cold water tank, like an ice bath tank that they're in for like a couple minutes a day, and unbelievable. So Rosalind says athletes use cryotherapy for workout recovery. Yes, and hello Nani, welcome, welcome from Istanbul. How awesome to have you here with us. So we're talking about cold showers and other shocks to the system. But you know, I I I don't, I'm encouraged to consider doing it again. How's that? I'm willing to consider doing it again, because I'm still feeling like the circulation to my skin, like feeling really truly a whole lot more awake and alive than after my regular hot shower. I mean, I know people that do a hot shower and then make it cold, but I had done the hot sauna, so I figured I could just make the cold shower. But oh my gosh, um, it 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 did really feel good when it stopped. But the thing is, I'm still feeling literally feeling the sensations of vitality, not feeling cold, but feeling the sensations of vitality in my body, which is quite surprising, quite remarkable. And so I may even invite you to try it yourself, because I'm kind of awed by the impact of it. Good morning, Robert. We're talking about cold showers and other shocks to the system. And anyway, the cold shower and the powerful impact that it had for me made me think about what other kinds of shocks to the system we can have that kind of lift us out of our our complacency, our comfort zone, our just lifting us into a greater experience of vitality and aliveness. So I'm wondering if there are things that you do that might be shocks to the system that enlivens and invigorates you. Um, so cold showers, interesting. Yeah, Robert. So you could say cold shower to me and my body would shiver before today. I've done cold showers in the past, and I remember really disliking them pretty intensely. So, uh, But yeah, Rosalind says the movie, my octopus teacher mentioned his body began to crave the cold ocean water. Yes, that is such a phenomenal, amazing film, Rosalind. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I love that movie. Wow. My octopus teacher, and I will never ever eat octopus again, that's for sure. It was such a moving, brilliant adventure of mind and spirit, right? Mind, body, and spirit, actually. Yeah. So Robert, I was saying, I took a cold shower this morning because I take a sauna every morning almost, and I didn't have cool down time, so I decided to hold on one second. Maggie's eating a plant. Hold on. No, you're not allowed to do that. So, is it a sign that I'm too comfortable that I would get up and go grab her in the midst of a session with you? I really appreciate your generosity to stick with me through stunts like that. But Dido says, I love that movie too. Yes, it is. It is just magical and really, really is empowering and enriching and connects us to nature in a way that is visceral. And so, speaking of visceral experiences, this cold shower thing was massively visceral experience. The thought of it, like for months, I've had friends tell me about Imhoff breathing and cold showers and it. I was intrigued by the idea, definitely intrigued by the idea, but when I thought about actually doing it, it was like, no way, you couldn't pay me to do it. And so Dennis is agreeing, great flick, and Maggie's getting some love here. Yes. So here's the thing: what other when we shock the system in not in dangerous ways, but what happens is there's a renewal, there's a great vitality. Another shock to the system, and I just said not in dangerous ways, but um, a shock to the system that I've done a couple things. One, it was when I was 30 for my birthday. I jumped out of a plane, and talk about shock to the system. It was uprooting me from everything that was familiar, and it was one of the most invigorating experiences in my life. And that's because I in the free fall part, I was hooked up to somebody who was an expert, so I wasn't free falling on my own. But in the free fall part, I experienced a surrender that I'd never experienced before. It was definitely a shock to the system because it was putting myself in a completely different context. Robert says, this subject reminds me of a time when I was working at a skating rink, and as I was homeless at the time. Wow, Robert, you have lived such a rich life. I hope you're going to write a book if you haven't already. And if you have, I want to know what it is. And as I was homeless at the time, I lived there too. So we had some showers, the ones from the summertime from the swimming pool, but the water was only cold. I needed to take a shower, so I got a cold shower and then went skating on the rink. I was only wearing a t-shirt on the top half. Was invigorating. I guess it was. What fun to have had an experience like that. That's brilliant, Robert. Thank you so much for sharing. That's amazing. I can't even imagine. I have a visual though, and I'm seeing the movie. So I think a bunch of people would be seeing the movie, Robert. You could make that book into a movie. I'm planning to write the book of my life. Well, please do, Robert. I mean, what a story. I think, if there are other elements that are as richly visual and funny and uplifting as that one, then I think it'll be a prize winning movie for sure. Yes, and it wasn't cold at all. Well, see, that's the thing I understand about about Imhoff breathing and the cold water, the ice baths, and everything, is that it actually physically reinvigorates our system so that it improves longevity and actually brings blood to all the organs and our skin, and that it's very, very healthful. So we'll see if I have the courage to continue with the cold shower thing. But I'm amazed. I'm still feeling it in a positive way in my body. So I wonder what other kinds of shocks to the system you guys experienced that maybe has lifted you a um, out of one way of being into another, physically, mentally, emotionally. I know that sometimes not all shocks to the system come in a positive or chosen way. Um, Robert says, and outside we're like minus 10 degrees Celsius. Oh my gosh. You know, I understand. Maggie, you wanna talk here today? Maggie's got a lot to say. Anyway, um, I know that a near death experience, and I don't mean in the transcendent way. I mean like where you have an accident or something and you realize, Maggie, I don't know if that's commentary or what. But anyway, if you like have a brush with death is really more what I'm talking about. Like where you have an accident and you realize whether it's a car accident or some kind of injury where you realize that you could have died, for instance. Good morning, Isabel. Wonderful to have you here. We're talking about cold showers and other shocks to the system that provide a beneficial impact overall. So I don't know about you, but I've had a couple of experiences driving where I don't know how I didn't, but I could have been killed, and without the car getting devastated, or but like where I spun around multiple times, or where I ended up on an embankment and somehow magically managed not to hit any of the trees that were there. Good morning, Kristen. How wonderful to have you here. It's great to be here with you. Anyway, those circumstances were shocks to the system, like in a big way, and recalibrated me, or I recalibrated to be in a mindset that was much more appreciative of being alive, much more present to being alive. It was a huge shock to the system, and it brought me present to being present in a very profound way. And fortunately, in those situations, I was unscathed, which made it even that more magical, that much more magical. So, how about for you? What kinds of shocks to the system? I know when someone we love passes, that can be a profound shock to the system, and um, sometimes in the grief, we find tremendous gratitude for having had that person in our lives in a way that we didn't previously have that gratitude, or we may find a deep gratitude and appreciation for our own lives from that context. and that shock, or something in the news, even when we allow ourselves to experience, the profound, um, what's the I don't want to, not serendipity, but the, um, what is it called? What's the word when life the word that's coming to my mind is impetuous, but that's not what I'm looking for. Where life is just, it, things just happen out of the blue that you don't anticipate. And um, what when we recognize that we're graced, when we recognize that we're graced, so there, but by the grace of God go I. You've heard that expression, but in those situations where something radical happens and we emerge unscathed, or we are just missed by whatever happened, we can feel a renewed sense of appreciation and connection and gratitude that we might not otherwise have felt. And that's what I'm talking about as a shock to the system. Robert says Maggie wants a cold shower. She might get one too, Robert. She just might get one. So, hello, Elaine, and welcome, welcome. A beautiful week to you as well. Isabel says, yes, I did. It took me to a gratitude feeling for God's help, brought me to a thankful and graceful stage of appreciation. Really a wow moment. I think you mean wow, but I don't know. Maybe you mean wow wow moment. But yes, so when she's like my alter ego, or you know the story of Jiminy Cricket, the conscience on your shoulder. This is Maggie, Maggie Cricket. Anyway, yeah, having those close calls um, can be a profound shock to the system, that is a real wake-up call that shifts our perception and our experience, and our gratitude and appreciation. Oh, Isabel says, whoa, my writing, sorry. So a real whoa moment. Yeah, yeah. When we are brought into presence and appreciation and gratitude and invigoration and vitality, and there are so many experiences that shift for us to wake us up. So a cold shower definitely woke me up, boy, I can tell you that. But there are other experiences also that have profound power to wake us up. And Rosalind says liver cleanse. I know people have been going through liver cleanses lately. Wow. Liver cleanse consisting of eating vegetables, ending with drinking olive oil, which floods the bile ducts, and Epsom salt flushes the olive oil. It was gross but satisfying to see bile was either bright green or dark color, indicating toxins. It was a 6-day program. I can't compete with you. I really can't. I think this might go from being core connection to the Maggie show. Let's see, it was a 6-day program supplemented with herb tinctures through Global Healing Center. Rosalind, congratulations on doing that. I understand. I have a very dear friend who also did that, and I had considered it, but realized that it wasn't the right timing for me. But I think she's talking when I'm talking. You're in rare form today, Maggie. Yes, you are. You really are. Anyway, that's a really, really powerful, potent liver cleanse, and brought up incredible emotional stuff for my friend who did it as well. I'm on the list to get notified when they offer it again. Congratulations, though. I know it doesn't seem like it was an easy thing. Isabel says, for me, the biggest two possible were car accidents, and they didn't happen. Beautiful, beautiful. So almost car accidents, right? Yeah. All of a sudden, you think, oh my gosh, that was a really close call. Good morning, Tasha. Wonderful to have you join us. So when you have a close call, we call it a wake up call, right? We get like an opportunity for a new perspective. Elaine says, for me, gratitude. I'm sorry, but she's unbelievable this morning, isn't she? For me, gratitude is a beautiful, pure expression of love for all in one's life, and all life grace. I agree. Gratitude is one of the higher expressions of emotion and appreciation and presence to love, for sure. Because I think connecting to the love in our heart, or connecting to gratitude, is connecting to love in a certain context, for sure. And Isabel says yes regarding the wake up call and almost car accidents. Yeah, that's been an incredible thing. Or other times when I have a wake up call to pay more attention is when I slip and don't fall, or I start tripping over something, and I'm able to regain my balance and recognize that, oh my gosh, I could have gotten really hurt. And just that brings me to a place. I always say, oh, thank you, or if I almost cut myself, or avoid some kind of accident, it's a wake up call to pay more attention, to be more present, maybe to shift awareness in some way or another. So I Rosalind, yes, Maggie is singing up a storm today, but only when I'm talking like that. Isabel says the third one was at 40, a cancer episode. Wow, Isabel. You too could write a book. Actually, pretty much everybody who's here could write a book. It would be really interesting to have like a TV series of all these shows, that showed everybody's lives and passages and awakenings. So a cancer episode, that can be, I know people who have gone through cancer and have had it be a transformative experience. And I don't know if you're saying that this was an actual cancer episode or the fear of cancer episode, but both can be, or either can be life altering. To come to a place of awareness and recognition and appreciation, and to be shifting one's whole outlook. So these are all instances in our lives of wake up calls. Some more um, more rich in drama than others, and all with an opportunity to shift our perspective. So Isabel says Maggie is giving us advice. We're just not listening. Well, she's pretty full of it today, isn't she? um, so Isabel says, yes, I had to have an extra tetramen. I don't know how to say that word. Extritomami. Extritomami. I don't know what that word is, Isabel, but I'm hoping that you are in good health now and fully recovered. Isabel says, to fall and have something catch you and gently set me down. So loved we are. Yes, that's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing to kind of feel an invisible hand guiding us and protecting us. Um, so Isabel, surgery, it was successful for me. Congratulations, Isabel. I'm thrilled to hear that. And we're graced to have you with us, all of you. All of you. It's such a privilege and pleasure to be spending these morning times together. And Maggie obviously appreciates it as well. So Elaine says, we're also loved and cared for in all ways. You know, I believe that's true. And when we're able to recognize that and be present to the gifts and the wonders and the joys and and the grace, it's so it in itself, that awareness in itself is a gift, for sure, for sure, for sure. So that's it about today, or for today, I think. Cold showers and other shocks to the system. And thank you. Thank you so much for participating so open-heartedly and graciously. It's a gift to me and to everybody else who's here with us together. And I'm Mira Rubin. This is Maggie. And we're here on the Core Connection. We go live each weekday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page. Please check out the other wonderful programming on Enlightened World Network. And until next time, uh, maybe look at what kinds of positive shocks to the system you might be able to introduce to enliven and invigorate yourself. So much love to you. Till next time.